Welcome back, Sports Club fans, and we're back for Season 3. First of all, we need to congratulate Bryce. Bryce became a father about a month ago, right, buddy?
Yep.
Awesome. We also need to introduce you to a newest member of Sports Club family, Daniel Snyder, who last year, if you guys had actually paid attention to our Facebook account, he was posting a good bit. So we decided, since Matt's off to Hawaii and Jeremy's going to go off into different ventures this year, he'll be doing this part-time a little bit, but we figured, why not bring a new voice into the mix?
I'm pretty sure some weeks he commented more than we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he picked up the slack on a lot of the games we missed last year.
Well, welcome, bud.
Right, I'm not the owner of the Washington Redskins, by the way.
Different guy.
Yes.
We're gonna go into the off-season moves first, and we're gonna hit with the coaches first. Let's start with Romeo Crennel. Obviously, became the head coach at the end of the last season just because he was there. They moved him in. He's still there in Kansas City.
It's not really. It's kind of a lateral move, in my opinion. It's not an upgrade. It's not a downgrade. It's a lateral move.
Mike Mularkey, who was the offensive coordinator at Atlanta, has been moved. He's now the head coach at Jacksonville Jaguars. Does that do anything for them?
This made me laugh more than anything. Yeah, I mean, is it just me, or did Atlanta's offense over the past few years not lack a certain creativity?
At least you ain't got to worry about no screens in Jacksonville.
That's true. You won't have to worry about passing ball either because Gabbard is.
St. Louis did with the biggest hire, I guess, of last offseason. They did bring in Jeff Fisher.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Fisher is actually going to do wonders, I think, with Sam
Bradford?
Bradford.
There
I'm
you
sorry.
go.
Wow. It's been 6 months since we've talked to NFL. It's been a long time. Let us catch up for a little
Back
bit.
on that horse.
I think it'll do well, but I'm not sure. I think they're still kind of middle of the pack.
He has. St. Louis always, the past 2 seasons, for me at least, always has looked like that team that's just on the verge of doing something, not necessarily huge, but improving, taking the step to the next level. Sam Bradford getting a little bit more mature in the pocket and taking that step towards the playoff and becoming an actual, legitimate team.
Joe Philbin, who was the offensive coordinator at Green Bay, I believe, has been moved down to Miami. He's now the head coach of the Miami Dolphins.
That's a demotion.
Yes.
I mean, you're going from having Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback to who?
Ryan Tannehill's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know why he moved.
So, obviously, we think highly of Joe Philbin hire.
Yep.
Dennis Allen, another ridiculous Raider move for head coach.
Al Davis is losing it. He's lost it.
Hey, you do know that he's dead, right?
Huh? You crazy? Yeah, I know.
Indianapolis signed Chuck Pagano as their head coach. He was a pretty good defensive coach over in Baltimore, and I know that you don't like Baltimore as much simply because of your head coach.
Oh, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Leave it at that.
This is the extent of his talking.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay brought in a college coach this year, and we saw what happened with Seattle a few years ago, bringing in Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
But Greg Schiano, who's the Rutgers head coach, is coming in to bring in, I guess, just some strength, some stability to Tampa Bay. And
I don't understand this move.
Wasn't Jim Harbaugh a college coach?
That's true. I forgot about Jim Harbaugh, and he did wonders with San Francisco.
My main thing here is, who's arguably the best college coach right now in the game?
Nick Saban.
How did he do in the NFL?
Horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just kind of my.
But then again, he was with Miami.
That's true, and nobody's been able to succeed there in Miami
since Marino.
Yeah.
Marino didn't succeed.
Well, true, but Marino actually had some success.
Yeah, he had some success. I mean, when they brought in Bill Parcells, they couldn't have any success. So that's kind of a dead-end job.
And Bryce has a list of some free agent moves that actually happened this offseason.
Some of the big free agent moves and shakers that we saw. Mario Williams, one of the best defensive players. I mean, just one of those dominant players you have to scheme for every time. He left Houston and went to the Buffalo Bills, and I hate it for Mario. His season's dead because nothing happens good up in Buffalo.
Yeah,
I think he was. If I'm not mistaken, I actually read a report that he was done in Buffalo.
Now, was that a rumor or was that confirmed?
I think that was confirmed. I'll find that out, but you keep moving.
Yeah, I did hear about that, but I wasn't sure. Another huge pickup. This makes them an automatic Super Bowl contender. Mike Tolbert to the Carolina Panthers. I mean, that solidifies it right there. That's the running game. I mean, that's it right there.
You think?
No. I like the guy. So another Michael Bush went to the Chicago Bears. I think he is going to be a terrific complement to Matt Forte in that running back tandem. I think him and Matt Forte, if they can complement Cutler in passing around the ball, I think.
If Cutler goes down, can Campbell come in and carry the team?
That is very true. We saw Cutler go down at the end of the year last year, and they looked like a fish out of water. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't game plan for anything. They looked so uncomfortable without him as the field general.
But Mario Williams is still with Buffalo, by the way.
That's not a team, though.
God, we're already starting to piss off Megan, and this is just the first show. Moving on.
I try to do. Another small movement. BenJarvus Greene leaves New England for Cincinnati.
He got tired of winning.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd go to Cincinnati. I don't think New England did offer him a contract, I believe, but it wasn't the money that the law firm was looking for. So he went to Cincinnati. I don't know. If I had a chance to stay at New England making $10 a day, I'd do it. I mean, that's just one of those successful franchises you want to stay with. Another small move, Kyle Orton, used to be a big name, used to be a starting quarterback, goes to the Dallas Cowboys. Depending on Romo.
What does that do for you, though? I mean, you're a Dallas fan, so what does that really do for you?
It provides a safety net if Romo gets hurt.
How? Do you really think that?
Do you really?
But Romo's a beast. He doesn't get hurt often, and when he does get hurt, he still plays.
That is very true. I mean, he played with a broken rib last year.
He beat us. Yes, he did beat.
He had a broken
rib.
He had
bringing that up.
He had a bulletproof vest on, I heard, or something. So he's a strong guy.
He'll wear the same one that Vic's wearing this year. That's going to still get him took out after 6 plays every game.
When you throw the ball and hurt your hand by hitting your hand on the offensive lineman's helmet, that's bad luck. That's bad juju. The Denver Broncos, in my humble opinion, did a terrific move by picking up Caleb Hanie, who we have have a huge
I did not realize that he went to Denver. No.
He did. He will be starting when Peyton Manning runs out of oxygen in the second quarter from hobbling down the field on his crutches. He will be playing.
I hope you're wrong, because I picked him up on my fantasy team. But good Lord.
Another small backup quarterback move that's not really significant, but we have a huge man crush on Caleb Hanie here at Sports Club. Another one of those other small moves, you're just trying to put bits and pieces in with a lot of the free agent moves. Tom Zbikowski, safety from Baltimore, played pretty good safety for Baltimore. He had to pick up some stuff from Ed Reed and Ray Lewis on how to run a defense there and how to be a leader. Mm-hmm. He goes to Indianapolis Colts, the Colts have been putting some pieces together through free agency where they could be a pretty good, not a playoff team. Don't get me wrong, they will be a decent team.
See, with the exception of the Texans. Who else in that? That's
Jacksonville and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's no team there can really compete with the Colts if Luck is able to perform.
And I think that'll be good for Luck to have those two subpar.
With the exception of the Texans.
With the exception of the Texans, yes. But playing the Titans and the Jags, twice each, they're not going to throw much at, Andrew Luck that he didn't see in college, talent-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aside from the Texans in that league, I think he'll be doing all right. The Jaguars picked up Chad Henne at quarterback, which is very interesting because a lot of the fans and the coach, who is now gone, weren't big fans of Blaine Gabbert and criticized him for playing scared. I mean, that's one of those ultimate insults.
This is also including Bryce, because Bryce called him out several times.
Yeah.
On the Jacksonville game last year.
You can watch him. And I don't blame him. I mean, I'd be scared standing in the pocket, 280-pound specimens coming and trying to rip my head off. I'd be terrified too. But I just think I don't know if Chad Henne was brought in as a legitimate person that, you say, if Blaine Gabbert doesn't perform, we're going to put Henne in, or if Henne came in like Tebow came into the Jets, where maybe it just lights a fire under your starting quarterback and maybe makes him perform better. I don't know. I don't know what their thinking was behind that.
Another black cloud actually, unfortunately, hangs over the NFL this season, too. Last year it was the lockout. This year, however, it's turning out to be another lockout, but this year it's the referees.
Yep.
The referees are looking more and more like they're probably not going to be...
That's what the Twitterverse is saying, is that they're going to be locked out for all year.
which means that we're going to have backup referees and college referees all season long in the NFL.
Minor leagues.
Yep.
So that's just something else that might actually get thrown into the mix. So when we
that
start
could be
picking,
a big issue. You know, it hasn't got a lot of coverage, as far as my opinion. This could be a huge issue.
They were told, a lot of the coaches were told not to talk about the referees.
I didn't. That makes a lot of sense.
They were told not to speak on
Yeah,
referees.
that makes a lot of sense.
So that all that will change.
Yep. New England made a bunch of free agent moves, and then they kind of dumped a few of them. Bobby Carpenter at linebacker. They picked up Carpenter at linebacker. They picked up Anthony Gonzalez, a guy, an Indianapolis product coming out of Ohio State. They picked him up. I have a slightly man crush on Anthony Gonzalez just for the way he plays. I love him in the slot.
absolutely,
He's a beast.
Maybe a backup for Wes Welker?
maybe.
Yeah, little learn.
See Brandon Lloyd, too.
Brandon Lloyd, yeah, another
It's a
wide
nice-
receiver, another target. Because Brady needs more targets on that team. Picked up another target. Dante Star Wars
Was released.
released him. Yeah, I thought that was
Him and
another good
Gabbard.
pickup. Yeah, they released both. They released both of those players, and I didn't understand that. I mean, I know they had a plethora of people for Brady to throw to, but why not just have more on there? But you know, I'm not one to question Belichick and that front office.
Some pretty big free agent moves. Also, T.O. was signed for 1 year, I believe, by Seattle, and then
Ended up
released
being
20
about
days later.
Yep.
And Chad Johnson was
Headbutted out of his team.
Chad
Dolphins?
Johnson was
Yeah.
signed by the
Yeah,
Dolphins,
several
and then apparently was released just because of a domestic dispute that he had. So there's a lot of things that you have to look forward to for this NFL season. Come back real quick. We're going to be doing the preview for Week 1. If you haven't checked us out, check us out next on Sports Lab.